Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here in the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel. Really quick, wanted to go over today somebody who's kind of not talked about enough on the defensive side of the ball, and that's Alex Highsmith. I mean, he does so many things, especially in the run game, that get overlooked, overvalued. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a higher level in terms of being a pass rusher that he can't get to. He obviously can. I mean, in 2022, he had, I think it was like 14 and a half sacks. He did really, did a lot, and a lot of that was helping make up for the loss of TJ Watt. But he was still productive when he didn't have TJ Watt on the other side to take some attention away. So he's very capable of it. And I have just one rep here from last season, and yesterday was the first day of training camp for the Steelers, and was really like there were a few reps out there in which I saw a Highsmith, and I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, like the get off looks really, really good. And there are a couple of times, and you can take this positively for Highsmith and also negatively for Broderick Jones, that he beat Broderick Jones very handedly. One time so much so he stepped to the outside and then cut to the inside, and Jones just froze and didn't do anything. And you like to see Jones be a little bit more competitive than that. But either way, Highsmith here, he's one thing that I think he's also really good at. He's a smart football player, and he can understand and anticipate when the snap is coming, and that helps him with his actual get off, which is still pretty good. It's not like not quite TJ Watt territory, but just watch this. The ball's getting snapped here, and watch Highsmith. I mean, he is anticipating this. He is among the first to move. I mean, he's moving before TJ on this play, like significantly moving before everybody else. I mean, again, this is a really good get off. I mean, the advantage he has over the right tackle at this point is obvious, because he's already come on. The tackle's just now getting a chance to try to get over there. And at this point, it's not even about being in the right position to engage in a pass block. It is, oh crap, I got to run over there and just try to get a hand on him and hope that Daniel Jones can step up in the pocket and do whatever he needs to. Because despite this being a four-man rush, Highsmith is forcing him to forcing Daniel Jones to move to a different part of the pocket, having to evade. And at first he does. Highsmith doesn't quite get there, but he's able to get a hold of the jersey and then eventually pull him down, and he gets the sack. But really wanted to highlight that portion of Highsmith's game that, no, the get-off is not as consistent as you'd probably like it to be. But again, smart football player, when you combine football smarts with the ability to be very athletic, which Highsmith is, be very quick, which Highsmith is, you can have these reps. And again, I was going through just a little bit of the film earlier this morning, and this one really stood out to me. Just again, seeing the moment the ball's getting snapped, this is perfectly timing it up, because you can't be offside, because you don't even start moving until the ball gets snapped. And once the ball gets snapped, or even begins to get snapped, you can't be on the wrong side of the ball. So this is perfectly timed. Again, just how much quicker he is out of his stance than everybody else here. I mean, again, it's starting there, and nobody else has moved. I mean, nobody on the offense. The center is the only one. Right tackle here is getting off to a good start, but the left tackle is just significantly slower getting out of his stance than Highsmith is. And then Highsmith, again, I think a lot of people think of him as being more of a power rusher. Think of him being more of a guy who's going to try to win with the bull rush more than the speed moves, especially when somebody like Nick Herbig comes in and it's a nice changeup for sure. So there is a bit of truth to that, but it's not like Highsmith is some slow clog on the edge. He absolutely has enough speed and acceleration coming out of his stance, in which he does time up the snap well, he's going to get into the backfield and at least create a pressure, which when you're talking about your edge rushers, you at least want to create pressure. You'd love to get back to the quarterback as often as possible. And now that the Steelers have better man coverage guys in the back end, then maybe they can get a little bit better in terms of turning those pressures into sacks. But either way, Highsmith again. And the one other thing that I love about this rep here is I love when edge rushers use the one arm, because even if they're not the longest guy, like if they don't have like the best length for an edge rusher, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. Like you make yourself longer when you use one arm instead of trying to use both arms. You literally will get more extension if you just extend with the one arm than if you try to push out with both arms at the same time. I'm trying to visualize it. Like I'm doing it here, but you obviously can't see me. But you just get more length. That's why Cam Hayward here has made a living by doing a number of things. But one of the things he does that's talked about throughout the league is just that one arm shove that he does, because again, while he's already got great length, he turns that great length into an even bigger strength whenever he does it with one arm, because you are actually longer when you use one arm instead of two. And so here, just to make sure that tackle can't get there, he puts that one arm out there. Tackles know this, that when edge rushers try to use the one arm, and he kind of like fakes it here and then he ducks underneath. Which is a speed move, because it's not like you're engaging like I'm going to engage with the block here, and it's just a duck underneath. Nope, I'm going to keep using my speed, my acceleration, and I'm just going to duck under everything and get around you, and that's exactly what happens. Virtually untouched, and again creates the pressure, and he's even able. I mean, you even talk about possibly over pursuing, but he's able to maintain. I mean, this is not an easy play to even get a hand on the jersey there, and then be able to then use your strength and then pull the guy down. But yeah, that's a heck of a pass rush right there. And Highsmith has this stuff in his repertoire, in his bag. He can use it quite a bit. You'd like to see it a little bit more, sure. But I liked what I saw first day from Alex Highsmith. Not that I was focused a lot on edge rushers who are already well established. I'm not sitting there watching TJ Watt. How does TJ Watt look? TJ Watt is among the least of concerns at training camp right now. But a few reps from Highsmith did happen to catch my eye. Not that I was focused on him. I was actually focused more on Broderick Jones. And pads weren't on, so take it with a grain of salt as well. But just pointing it out, first day, I thought Highsmith looked pretty good. So defense as a whole looked really good. Wrote about that on DKPittsburghSports.com. Go check it out. Appreciate you tuning into this Chalk Talk. You guys have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. The Steelers do not practice on Monday, so I'm probably not going to just knock out one Chalk. I might knock out a couple of Chalk Talks that day, but I'll just upload the one on Monday, and then we'll get back on Tuesday. Tuesday's the main event, really, when it comes to training camp, is the first padded practice of training camp. Very, very highly anticipated. Not just by fans, but media members like it too. I mean, it's a good time. So anyway, catch you guys later. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a great weekend. See you later.